I'm going to record. And I promised you guys an equation I thought I had. Well, sadly, I can't seem to find the video. I know I made one previously. For previous class I made called finite class. Now, system of equations. Means I have three variables. All right, 2x minus 3y minus z equals negative 17. Next one, 6x plus 5y plus z equals negative 3. 2x plus 2y plus 2z equals 8. Now, I like to work down the left side with my equations and do the actual work on the right side with the math. All right. Now, with that, I recommend, you don't have to, I label mine. Some instructors, if you've seen it done before, they like to label it 1, 2, 3. I do not. You're going to see why in a moment. The just behind is we take a system of 3 and we make it into a system of 2. Those equations I'm going to go ahead and slot in as D and E. And we keep working it down. So from a system of 3, I go to a system of 2. A system of 2 becomes an answer. If I had a system of 5, I'd take system of 5, make it a system of 4, which then I rework into a system of 3, which I rework into a system of 2. And again, I work down to an answer. This is the process of no matter how large this is, you just keep going down a size. Now, I use ABC for a reason, because one of the hardest things is there's so many places to make a mistake. And believe it or not, this is my third time making a video. I know what the answer should be. And last time I came up with an answer of 23 11s. Yeah, no, I made a mistake somewhere, but I have to keep erasing my screen. So first thing, we got to decide which variable we're getting rid of, X, Y, or Z. Personally, I'm going to go after Z, because to get this to work, you have to have, once you choose the variable, when you add the variables together, remember, they have to disappear. They have to equal 0. That means you have to have 1 plus, 1 minus. Well, Z is already set up with pluses and minuses. And we've got ones. Makes the math easier. So I'm going to trot out A and B. Now, A and B, the Z's are the same except opposite signs, so I don't have to multiply by anything. So I make no other extra notation. Now, when I do this, this is going to create D. All right, so 2x plus 6x is 8x. Negative 3 plus 5 gives me a 2y. The z's become 0. And we get negative 20. I'm going to bring him on over. All right. Now I pick another 2. I can't do A and B again. I can do A and C or B and C. First, I'm going to do A and C. This time I do need to multiply one of them, and I need to multiply A by 2. Okay. C, I'm still not multiplying, but there's my extra notation. This reason I don't like to number my equations 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's times I want to be, this is backtracking. When you can't make a mistake, you're declaring what you did. So if someone else or even yourself goes back through and looks, they can help find your mistakes. They know your thought process. It's helping show your work. And you know how much your instructor loves it for you to show your work, because there's times I've had students not do this and I have no clue what you did because I can't follow your thought process. It's never a good thing when your instructor can't follow the student's thought process. So, all right, so now I'm going to multiply each piece of A by 2. So I get 4x minus 6y minus 2z equals negative 34. I do not multiply this c. And this again makes e. So I get 6x minus 4y plus 0z equals negative 26. I'm bringing this over. Now, at this point, if you want, take a screenshot. I'm not sure I can fit this in, but we're going to try. So now I need to take D and E to get a solution, and I need to decide which variable am I getting rid of. Am I getting rid of the X or the Y? Again, I'm choosing Y because I only have to multiply one of them, and it already has other opposite sides. So I need to multiply D by what? 2. So I get 16x plus 4y equals negative 40, and 6x minus 4y equals negative 26. 4 minus 4 gives me 0y. This gets 22x equals negative 46 or 66. Gee, told you, man, it's so easy to make a mistake. And when I divide by 22, I get x equals negative 3. Now that's a solution. Now these are a point on planes. So that means they get a special format. Now, most definitely now, take a screenshot if you need to for the work, or pause the video and write, because I do need to erase the right side of my screen. All right. All right. So now I took system of 3 to system of 2 to an answer. So now I back up to system of 2. I pick one of them to plug in the 3 to find the next variable, which is the y. All right. So D or E, doesn't matter. I think I'm going to go with E. Why not? And again, I label it which one I plugged into. I leave nothing up to guess. All right. So 6 times negative 3 gives me negative 18. All right. Add the 16 over, or add the 18 over. I'm thinking ahead here. Gives me negative 4y equals negative 8. I divide by the negative 4. So y equals 2. All right. What color do I want? good dark brown. So now I went from a system of 2. I found both my answers. Now I back up to system of 3. I pick A, B, or C to plug in my X and my Y to find my Z. And I'm going to go with A because it's got the smallest numbers. Or I could go C. Doesn't matter because multiplying by 2 is easy. So let's go A. So I get 2. And that color's too close. Hold on. I like to keep my colors separate. So I get 2 times -3 minus 3 times 2 minus Z equals -17. And this is A. All right, so I get -6 minus 6 minus Z equals -17. Combine my like terms. Add my 12 over. I'm running out of room, so I'm not showing it. And then divide by -1, so I get Z equals 5. And that is the answer. Now, officially, you're supposed to take those answers and plug them back into the 2 that you did not use to solve. So it's a check because what we're dealing with is planes. And you have different scenarios. And I always, if I was teaching this in class, I'd have you look at the walls and the ceilings because those are really nothing more than planes. And you've got different scenarios where the 3 planes don't cross. That'd be the floor, ceiling, and roof. At least you hope they don't ever cross. At least not while you're between those planes. You also could have wall, where 2 planes cross and 2 planes cross, but not all 3 planes cross at the same time. What we are looking for is where all 3 planes cross, and they will cross at a corner, which is a point. That would be a wall and a wall and a ceiling, or a wall and a wall and the floor, but they cross at a corner. And that's why I point this out, because a lot of times we look at the walls and the ceiling stuff and not stop and think. Mathematically, those are nothing more than planes. It's a big flat surface. In mathematical terms, those planes never stop. Well, the buildings do stop, but it gives you an idea of what we're looking for in a concrete manner. We're looking for where all 3 cross at a point. The point's a corner. All right. But there is your example I promised of a system of 3. And that's about as quick as I can do it, because I know how much you guys love watching these videos. And I could be nice and turn on the video right now because I've got a little boy dog who's sitting here this entire time, been trying to sit on my lap and get in on the thing. It's a good thing I don't have the camera on because he is a nuisance. All right. So I'll talk to y'all later.